Perfect. I'm standing here. There he is, Rick
Sorry, I
Green.
got
Good to see.
distracted. Hi, how are you doing?
It doesn't take much. What could have been the cause of that?
ADHD probably, or just there's interesting things going on over here. Yeah, sorry.
Hey, no, I saw him too. So, why don't you tell us a little about your show?
It's over. It went well. People laughed. People cried. Nobody threw anything. Which is great in comedy. You don't want people throwing stuff at you. I basically told my story, and as I went through it, I realized, wow, I've been through a ton of crap. So it's the story of how I went from being a comedian to somebody who found out they have ADHD to being a comedian with ADHD, which I actually was before but didn't know it, and then suddenly becoming a documentary filmmaker about ADHD, and then a internationally known public advocate for the education about ADHD, and so on. And then it got complicated after that. So.
And then it got complicated.
Yeah,
I had
exactly.
trouble just keeping up with all that.
Yeah, well, try living it.
Well, I noticed you said laughing and crying. I know you're just joking, but I noticed that you did have more heart than I was expecting your show. Was that planned whenever you went into it, or?
Well, it's when you find out at age 40 or 30 or 70 that there's something going on that has you not really able to stick with things, focus, long-term planning, prioritizing, and you start to realize what it's cost you, and then you start to get it handled, and you go, if only. So there are heartbreaking stories out there, people who did not know. We've heard from people who said, you just saved my life. I had bought pills to end it, and I saw your program, and I flushed the pills down, which for a comedian is not something we're really trained to handle. And that's part of the story, which is funny in some ways, is us trying to deal with this incredible response from people all over the world. What do we do? We can't give, and so on. And so yeah, there's some dark stuff in there, but here's the thing. The dark stuff's also kind of funny, I mean, the horror comedy, right?
So black humor exists for a reason,
Exactly. So the show comes back to the comedy, and because of the ADHD, I did wander off the planned script at certain points, but that's okay. We got through it all in less than a week, which is great.
You came up with that in a week?
No, I mean, I could have performed for a week. I've done events where I've gotten up, and I'm supposed to talk 45 minutes, and 3 hours later, people are sitting there.
He's still going.
And they're interested, because I can be interesting, but they got to pee so badly at that point. So, yeah.
Do you find it hard to market a 2-hour show to people with ADHD? Is that kind of...
Well, first of all, you got to have them arrive at the right theater on the right night, so it gets a little tricky.
Everybody listen.
Yeah, exactly. So, but the people who have it are coming down because they're desperate to hear, and the people who know someone who has it and they don't believe it's real are coming down to laugh at it, and they go, oh. And then there are the people who, yeah, I read about that, but that's normal for everyone, right? Like I thought, and then find out my version of reality is not how it is for what? People actually have moments where they don't have 8 radios going in their head, where they can follow a conversation, where they could sit in a crowded sports bar with TVs going and have their spouse pour their heart out and actually hear what they're saying and not keep going like this.
Wait, people do that?
That's what I'm told.
We'll see.
It's a superpower. So yeah, when you start finding out that this is that how you've lived and how you've succeeded or not succeeded, it's amazing actually. So for me, to get serious, for me, when I found out, I went, this is why I've never written a screenplay.
Yeah, you said that earlier, and
Yeah.
that kind of struck some chords with me, I'll tell you the truth.
Because it's 6 months to write a screenplay, and you have to develop character arcs and stories, and the fun part, the dialogue, comes in the last month. But it's all these different things, backstory, and all this stuff you have to construct. I'll just go write another skit for Red Green and another skit for History
That was
Bites.
actually something I was wondering. So you said you didn't know that you had ADD at the time, but how were you able to focus and write the skits and stuff? Like, is it just something that you
So
love,
the
the
name is, it's a bad name. It is not a deficit of attention. It is a problem with executive function. So it's uneven attention. So when we're interested, we can hyper-focus. This is why so many athletes, race car drivers, police, when the adrenaline gets going, it makes up for the dopamine that they're low on, and suddenly, so a gunshot goes off, everybody who's normal, if you want to call it that, goes wah to up here. The people with ADHD who are kind of now we're calm and clear.
You piqued my interest.
Yes, now I'm alert. So anyone connected with 9/11, fire, police, rescue, those people who are running into the building when everyone's running out, that's often ADHD. The emergency room doctors, they don't want to sit for 30 years and be your family physician. And how are you doing? And how's it been? And we'll see you next year. They're heroes. Bring them in. I fix them. I save them. Or I didn't save them. Next. What do you got? They don't even know the person's name, but they get bang, 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 bang. So figuring out not only if you have ADHD, but what you can do with it, because there are certain strengths that come. We score. A number of studies have shown we score higher for creativity. They did 11 different kinds of creativity, verbal and ideation and nonlinear thinking and so on. And the ADHD people scored higher on all of those compared to the normals. Everybody wants to be normal. Nobody wants to be average, run of the mill, or in the majority. Anyway.
That was the one I wrote that quote down.
Yeah, don't don't be enamored with being normal, because guess what? There's a lot of people out there who are doing normal, and look how the world looks. If you follow along with the way things are supposed to be done, if you follow the instructions step by step, nothing changes. So the change, you could argue, happens for the people who do not follow the instructions, who
get out of the box.
Yeah, exactly. And once you get out of the box, anything's possible. And anyway, so yeah, it's been a strange journey. I wouldn't have missed it for the world, although ADHD people often have problems with working memory, so I did miss some of it for the world. But I remembered enough of it to put together a one-man show.
Yeah, it was great. And the Order of Canada, I just want to say congratulations.
Yeah, this afternoon they announced the Order of Canada, and the ceremony and the awarding is happening today, and I'm here, but that's okay.
So do you get like a scepter cape?
No, I don't know what you get. There's a pin and there's a button, but I don't get it.
Congratulations, I guess.
I don't get it till next year because it has to be handed to you by the Lieutenant Governor General. That's fine.
Okay.
But it saved me having to rent a tux, and I've got a whole year to try and lose weight and look fabulous. So
you can rent that tux now and then just work yourself into it. That'll be your goal, right?
That exactly. Yeah.
All right.
It'll never happen. I'll get fatter. All right.
All right. Sounds good.
Thank you.
Let's end it on a high note there. There
Thank
you go.
All right.
All right.
Fist bump with your face. Oh no.
Oh, what?
What?